sure we talked about some of this before. About last semester. It's actually 53. Somewhere along the line we skipped something. Polynomials, we've talked about different types of polynomials already. We've talked about, let's just write this down, a monomial, a binomial, and we talked about trinomials. Okay, it's simply just like the prefix of these things. Say a monomial is just a one-term thing. A binomial we talked about is two terms. And a trinomial is three terms. So that's just kind of definitions of what those things are. If you need an example of that, a monomial would be anything that looks like this: 8x cubed y to the third. Binomials, 3x minus 2. Trinomials, x squared plus 5x minus 8. If they get bigger than that, I don't know what they're called. I don't think they go by any particular names. But the reason we're talking about this is because we talked about degrees. Okay. The first one is a degree of a monomial. Did we talk about this in 7th grade? Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. When they talk about degrees in math, particularly of monomials, it is nothing more than the degree of a monomial is equal to the sum of the exponents of the variables. Anybody want to explain what that means? Uh-oh, what they do? My hands for that. Lucas is Spaniel.
Is there such thing as a quadnomial?
I don't believe so. It's like there's not a pentanomial either. Or a hexanomial or an octanomial. Maybe in the upper, I don't know. Brandon? Please. In other words, this, when you're talking about a monomial, or monomial, whatever it is, if they ask you to give its degree, you simply just add the exponents of just the letters, not the number. 3 plus 3 is 6. So 8x to the third, y to the third is the 6th degree. Okay. If it was just an x by itself, understood 1, this is the 1st degree. If you had 35 x, y, z, what degree is that? Monomial? Somebody help me out here. Jeremy? 3rd degree. It is a 3rd degree. Like a 3rd degree black belt, if you will. Turning the page. Now, write this down. The degree of a polynomial let's say I give you this, 3x to the 5th y minus 8xyz plus 3 x cubed y cubed. And I ask you to give me the degree of this whole polynomial, the whole thing. Okay. Anybody want to speculate what it is? No, probably not. The degree of a polynomial is equal to the degree of its highest. I don't think there should be a degreed term. Anybody know what that means? That means you look at the degree of each term. What's the degree of this first term? 6, right? Degree of this term? Third degree. Degree of this term? Okay, the degree of this polynomial is the same as the degree of the highest degree term. In other words, what's the highest of these? 6. So that's the degree of the polynomial. This is a 6th degree polynomial. 6th degree polynomial. When will you ever use this? I don't have a clue. Other than maybe on tomorrow's homework assignment. Question, Lucas.
What page are we?
Right now?
336.
336. So if you had this 75x plus 18x squared minus 15x to the 5th y to the 3rd, what is the degree of this polynomial? Yeah, it's the 8th degree. Why is it the 8th degree? Okay, this is a degree of 1, a degree of 2, that's a degree of 8. You always take the highest degree. Some other definitions apparently we need to know. The word leading coefficient. 2 of them. Leading coefficient and standard form. And standard form of a polynomial. Just so you can say that I told you this, even though to me it's not something of great importance here. First of all, the standard form, let's do that. When you write down a polynomial, standard form means that you write it in descending order. Of degree terms. Which simply means, if I was writing this one in standard form, you start with the highest degree term first, and then you just go down from there. So I know this was 8, and this was 2, and this was 1. So it goes 15 x to the 5th y 3rd plus 18 x squared plus 75x. This would be written in standard form. Uh-oh, John.
What's the word after
I don't know, I didn't write very well. Agreed? Write in descending order of degree terms. Of degrees. Yeah. Degree terms. Or
If you had
the same?
like 18 squared x squared.
Where you put those, you combine those terms.
No, if like
They were the same?
if not the number had like an exponent. Like
No.
7.
No, because you would change that 18 squared to whatever 18 times 18 is. No, don't worry about if there happens to be a exponent to the number, don't worry about that at all. It doesn't count towards the degree of the term. And then the leading coefficient is the number in front of the highest degree term. That's going to be tough, isn't it? It makes sense. Leading means coming in front. Coefficient is the number part of a term. So the leading coefficient is, in this case, would be 15 because it is the number that's in front of the highest degree term. Again, they're not hard things, they're just kind of goofy and you'll never ever probably use them in your life, but so let me draw another one up here. let's say you've got 8xy to the third minus 3zx to the fifth plus 6. Writing it in standard form, what comes first? Nikki?
The second one?
Right, so you have to write negative 3zx to the fifth, and then would come the plus 8xy cubed, and then plus 6. And if you're asked what the leading coefficient would be, that would be, Nick Shanks?
3.
That would be, Nick Shanks, huh?
Negative.
-3, yes, the number in front of that leading coefficient. Ready for some more? That will be good. And then last but not least, adding and subtracting polynomials. This is Jeopardy.
Are we gonna use that in real life?
Probably not in real life, but in real math world you will. Sure, why not? You will. Here's your two choices, children. You've got adding polynomials, let me write down an example, and subtracting them. Negative 8x cubed plus 4x squared plus 1 plus 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 7, and then one subtracting 1. 6x squared plus 4x plus 2 minus 2x squared x plus 8. Ready? Give me a second for that. Here's the deal with this. When you add polynomials, the parentheses don't make one hoot of a difference. Alright? If it's addition and there's a plus sign in front of the parentheses, you don't even need them. You can take them away and just combine your like terms as you would normally do. I don't even know why they give us this sort of stuff that they do, so. So you just look at like terms, you've got this minus 8x cubed and a plus 3x cubed 4. It's negative 5x cubed. You've got 4x squared minus 2x squared for 2x squared, and you've got plus 8. That would be adding. Now when it comes to subtracting, children, then you have to be careful, because this subtraction sign, really you have to think about that as being like a -1 that gets multiplied, distributed out to all of these. So all of these are going to change their signs. This is going to become a minus 2x squared, that'll become a plus x, and that'll become a minus 8. This one doesn't change because it's only the sign in front of them, and if there's no sign, it's just going to assume it's a positive. So this would stay 6x squared plus 4x plus 2. And then once you get rid of the parentheses, adding like terms, 6x squared minus 2x squared is 4x squared, 4x and x is 5x. 2 and a minus 8 is 6. So this is the only thing really you have to watch out for. Addition just means you can take out the parentheses and go to town. Subtraction means you have to distribute out. I hope you're not as bored as I am. Jackson.
Or if they give you something that doesn't match up with the other side like that.
Then you can't combine the terms, and you just have to write it the way it is. Yeah. You can't do anything with that.